And welcome back. Well, this is the time of year that everyone is asked to give back to those in need. But what about something quite personal? Have you ever considered a life-saving gift like bone marrow? Dr. Andrew Pecora of the John Thur Cancer Center joins us more about the need for this unique gift. Good morning to you, doctor.
Good morning.
You know, I don't think a lot of people have thought of being a bone marrow donor. Which types of patients with cancer could benefit from this type of donation?
Yeah, people who have what are called blood-derived cancers, such as leukemia, lymphoma, and multiple myeloma, there's about 12,000 Americans each year diagnosed with those diseases where bone marrow transplantation offers the only curative approach to treat them, and therefore they are in need of a donor.
How hard is it to find a match? Because that was, I know with a lot of donations in general, that's the key.
No, it absolutely is the key. So, if you have brothers and sisters, any one of them, there's a 1 in 4 chance that there will be a match to you. So if you have a large family, your odds are better. If you don't have a large family, or if you're not fortunate and one is a match, you can go into the National Marrow Donor Program, the NMDP, to search for unrelated donors, and that's what we're talking about this morning. And there your odds on average are about 50-50.
So what about the rate of survival then if your match is not within your family? Is it just the fact that it is a match that matters?
Well, if you have a family member that is a match, or if you find an unrelated donor that's a match, your outcomes, your rate of survivals are identical. So that's why it's so important that we get more people to donate, because right now only about half, and this is on average, about half of people who need a donor can have one. And if you don't have a donor, then your outcome is very, very poor.
So we saw a little bit of video of people swabbing their mouth. That's not how I would think that a bone marrow match or person on registry would see if they are good for someone else. Is that the test that you do?
That's all it is. I mean, the way to do it is to go to the website bethematch.org, bethematch.org, and actually in Wisconsin at the Michigan Blood, you're having a donor drive in the near future, and you go there, you answer a couple of questions, you fill out a questionnaire, and you have a cotton swab, and that takes enough cells from the inner lining of your mouth. You don't feel anything, it's not painful, and we're able to determine your immune address, your HLA type, and that gets put into the database. So any doctor around the world that has patients where they're putting their immune type into the database, if the database matches up, you're called to be a donor.
So doctor, say you're called to be a donor. You go in, you get asked a few questions, as you said, and such, and you have second thoughts about it. You're not ready to donate. Is that an option as well?
Yes, this is a totally voluntary program. You're under no obligation. At any time, you can back out of being a donor.
For people who have blood cancers, you know, for them, what can they do in terms of trying to find someone who might be a match?
Well, you know, many patients have had family members and others that have done large donor drives, and that's a wonderful thing to do. But the best thing we can do for all patients is to have the largest donor pool possible, so that anyone and everyone who's willing to do this someday could help save somebody's life.
It just seems like there's so many advances. I know the first bone marrow transplantation was, what, 25 years ago? It seems like the technology has just expanded so quickly.
Yeah, I've had the privilege of doing over 6,000 bone marrow transplants over that 25-year period. And I think the principal message to your listeners is it's become such a safer procedure, such that we're able to extend the age up to age of 80 where we can do these transplants. And we're now able to do transplants even in people that don't have a perfect match, only a partial match, and potentially cure them of their disease.
I think it's wonderful. For people who are interested in seeing if they could be a match for someone and doing the swab test, how can they find out more information?
You go to the website bethematch.org, bethematch.org, the website of the NMDP, and it will direct you to a local center where you can do this.
Dr. Pecora, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely.